Denzel once said, "Dreams without goals remain dreams. And ultimately, fuel disappointment. Goals on the road to achievement cannot be achieved without discipline and consistency." These words may sound simple, but when you understand where he came from, how he fought, how he fell, and how he rose again, you will realize why they carry such weight. Denzel Washington was not born into wealth, privilege, or power. He grew up in Mount Vernon, New York, the son of a Pentecostal minister and a beauty parlor owner. Life was not easy. The streets outside could swallow young men whole. Friends he grew up with fell into crime, drugs, and early graves. By his own admission, he was on the verge of losing his path. He was a troubled kid. At 14, his mother sent him away to boarding school, hoping to save him. That decision changed everything, because it gave him a second chance. But even then, Denzel had no idea what he wanted to do with his life. He thought maybe medicine, maybe law, maybe sports. He was unsure, and in that uncertainty, life gave him a calling. One summer, working in a barber shop, a woman told him, "You are going to travel the world and speak to millions of people." He laughed. He didn't understand. But years later, that prophecy came true. When he entered acting, he was not immediately successful. He struggled. He doubted himself. But he stayed disciplined. He stayed consistent. He didn't chase fame. He didn't chase money. He chased excellence. And slowly, Hollywood began to notice. Roles came in TV shows, then in films. His breakthrough was Glory, where he played a defiant soldier. That role won him his first Oscar. But Denzel did not stop there. He kept raising the bar, delivering one unforgettable performance after another: Malcolm X, Training Day, Remember the Titans, The Equalizer. But here's the point: it wasn't just talent. It was work. Hard, relentless, disciplined work. He once said, "Without commitment, you'll never start. But more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish." That is the secret. Everyone wants to succeed. Everyone wants to win. But few are willing to stay consistent when it gets boring, when it gets hard, when it feels like nothing is happening. Denzel stayed, and that is why he became a legend. He also speaks about faith. He never shies away from giving credit to God. "Put God first," he says. "Put God first in everything you do. Everything that you think you see in me, everything that I've accomplished, everything that you think I have, and I have a few things, everything that I have is by the grace of God." In a world that often celebrates ego, Denzel reminds us that humility, gratitude, and faith are the true foundations of greatness. But let's talk about failure, because Denzel Washington is not afraid of it. In fact, he embraces it. He says, "If you don't fail, you're not even trying. To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did." Think about that. We are so afraid of failure that we don't even try. We settle. We lower our standards. But Denzel says the opposite. Fail big. Take chances. Don't be afraid to fall. Because every failure is a step closer to success. Every rejection is redirection. And here's something powerful. When he was a young actor auditioning in New York, he failed again and again. Casting directors told him no. Sometimes they didn't even look at him. But he kept going. Years later, those same casting directors were begging to work with him. Why? Because he never quit. He knew his worth. He knew rejection was not the end, it was the path. Denzel also talks about discipline in daily life. He doesn't believe in shortcuts. He doesn't believe in easy success. He says, ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. That's profound. Because we think hardship is the enemy, but it's not. Hardship is the teacher. Ease is the enemy. Comfort zones are dangerous. If you want to grow, you must step into discomfort. You must do what others are not willing to do. Think about his training for roles. When he played Malcolm X, he didn't just memorize lines. He lived the character. He studied him. He breathed him. When he played a corrupt cop in Training Day, he delivered a performance so raw and real that it shook audiences to their core. He won the Oscar because he was willing to go deeper, to sacrifice more, to give his craft everything. That's discipline. But his lessons go beyond acting. He teaches us about life itself. He says, "Don't aspire to make a living, aspire to make a difference." That's not just a quote, that's a principle. You can chase money all your life and still feel empty. Or you can chase impact, meaning, and purpose, and you will never feel poor. Denzel lives by this. He mentors young actors. He gives back to his community. He funds scholarships. He serves as a role model not just on screen but off it. He also talks about gratitude. He says, I pray that you put your slippers way under the bed tonight, so that when you wake up in the morning you have to get on your knees to reach them. And while you're down there, say thank you. Gratitude is the foundation of happiness. Gratitude keeps you humble. Gratitude keeps you grounded. And in a world chasing more, Denzel reminds us to appreciate what we already have. Let's be real, life will test you. Life will knock you down. Life will break you. And in those moments, Denzel's words matter most. Fall forward. Don't fall back, don't quit, don't give up. Fall forward, learn, grow, move, even if it's just 1 inch at a time. Keep moving, because success is not measured by how many times you fall, but by how many times you get back up. If you look at Denzel Washington's career, you will see resilience. You will see consistency. You will see faith. You will see discipline. And you will see humility. These are the qualities that separate him from the rest. These are the qualities that made him not just a star, but a legend. So what can you learn from Denzel Washington today? You can learn that dreams are nothing without goals. You can learn that consistency beats talent. You can learn that faith will carry you when nothing else can. You can learn that failure is not the end, but the beginning. You can learn that life is not about money, but about meaning. Now I want you to imagine yourself 5 years from now. Who will you be? Where will you be? What will you have achieved? Whatever vision you see, it will only become reality if you live by these principles. Discipline, consistency, faith, gratitude, resilience. That's the formula. That's the path. Remember, Denzel Washington was just a kid from Mount Vernon, with no clear path, no special advantage. Yet he became one of the most respected and admired men in the world. If he can do it, so can you. The difference is not talent. The difference is discipline. The difference is commitment. The difference is refusing to quit when life says no. So the next time you feel like giving up, remember Denzel's words, without commitment, you'll never start. Without consistency, you'll never finish. The next time you are afraid of failing, remember, fail big. The next time you want to play it safe, remember, ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. The next time you doubt yourself, remember, put God first. This is not just motivation. This is a way of life. If you apply these lessons, if you live them every day, your life will change. Maybe not in a week, maybe not in a month, but eventually, without a doubt, your life will change. So watch this every day. Watch it when you feel tired. Watch it when you feel lost. Watch it when you feel broken. Watch it until the words are no longer just words, but your reality. Because greatness is not for the chosen few. Greatness is for those who choose it. And as Denzel Washington himself would say, keep working, keep striving, never give up. Fall down 7 times, get up 8. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. So keep moving, keep growing, keep learning. Put God first. And everything else will fall into place. That is the message. That is the truth. That is the power of Denzel Washington.